I'm going to give you guys some tools because you have asked me so many questions about automation and software and tools and all that fun stuff. And so I thought as we ease into our afternoon and our last sessions for the day that I would give you some cool tools and tech that you can utilize in your studio. How does that sound? All right, let's get started. We got to start with studio software first. Now, at lunch, someone asked me one of the questions I hate being asked is which studio software should I use? I still love you, but I hate that question. Which studio software should I use? And the reason I don't like that question is because every studio runs differently. Yes, we are in the studio owner business, but every studio owner has different things that they would like their software to do. So I see in all these groups, which studio software should I use? Which studio software should I use? And I'm like, the first thing that you need to identify are the top 3 non-negotiables that you need the piece of software to do for you. The top 3. What are the 3 things that you need it to do? Because here's the thing, let me tell you a little secret. Not one studio software will do every single thing that you want. There you go, there's your big takeaway from the last 3 days. So what you need to do is create the top 3 things that are non-negotiable for you, whether it's reporting, whether it's the way that you do your fee structures, it works with that, whether it's your scheduling, whether it's their point of sale system, their costuming system, whatever it might be, you've got to make sure that it can do the 3 non-negotiable things that you need. Then everything else is a bonus, and you will fill the gaps in the things that it doesn't do. The other thing I see people doing is people change studio software like every year because they think there's like a better option out there, right? Well, let me try this. Well, let me try this one, right? Stick with your studio software and make it work. And if it doesn't work, then switch to one that you know is going to work. My favorite, it's like my favorite child. I know you're not meant to have one, but I kind of do. My favorite is Jackrabbit. Now, Jackrabbit might work for you, it might not work for you. Why do I love Jackrabbit and the guys so much there is because their customer service is amazing. They have really terrific customer service. And I think being studio owners, it's nice to be able to pick up the phone and talk to people about your software, how you can get the most out of it. I know some of you are on Dance Studio Pro as well, and I love that. They have email support. But I put up 2 because I thought if I just put up 1, I look really biased. So this is my 1, definitely my number 1, and this is my number 2. Okay? But you need studio software. If you don't have studio software, whether you have 50 students or 5,000 students, get it at your 50 because it saves you time. And time is money. Time is money. So let's get out of Excel. If anyone's on Excel, doing all their stuff in there, let's get studio software. Customer service. This is something that we can no longer just sit in Gmail or Outlook and just like be typing emails away and away and away. Because we get so many emails, probably from parents and customers and potential customers in our studio, and we lose track. Who responded to that? Why is that still sitting in the inbox? Why did no one respond to that from 5 months ago? Has anyone been in that situation before with their email? And so what you want to do is get a customer service software. We use Intercom at DSOA. And what I love about Intercom is we get our Facebook page messages in there, we get our live chat in there, we get our emails in there. You can have multiple email addresses that come into the same system. So everything comes into the same place. So it's one interface. And what we can do, which I love, and it annoys the team, is I can go in there and I can make notes on the emails. So someone sends an email and I go in there and go, hey Mel, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I write a note on the specific email, or Mel might say, hey Jessica, can you help me with this one? Right, and so the team can communicate on the email so that you can kind of action it and get it out quickly. Right, I really, really love this. Mel, do our texts come into this or that's separate?
No, they do, yeah.
Oh, and our text messages come in here as well. Oh my goodness, groundbreaking. I've talked about it in Inner Circle. Well, maybe you haven't come to every single call. Okay, so that's Intercom. Front app is the other thing. That does basically exactly the same thing as Intercom. So again, I'm kind of going to give you a couple of options here. Front app, Inner Circle, guys, Nathan did a session on this at the retreat in March in Sydney. That recording's in the membership site, and it's in the app as well. So you guys can get access to that. So front or Intercom, really great. Everything in one place. You can annoy your team with notes. I love it. It's good. Finances, Xero and QuickBooks should be self-explanatory. Everyone should be using some kind of accounting software in their studio. No more Excel spreadsheets. Sometimes you can hook it up with studio software. Sometimes you might not be able to. That's okay, but make sure that you've got something in place for your finances. Project management, however you say it, Asana and Trello. My favorite is, but a lot of you love, yes. So I'm happy with you being here or here, just be somewhere. Just have your project plans in a system, in a software. What I love about Asana and Trello is you can map out a whole project, assign tasks to people, assign due dates, and then you hit my favorite button, duplicate, if you want to do it again. But you need this to manage projects. About 3 years ago, we were using spreadsheets to manage our projects, and it was an absolute mess, Here is really great. In Asana, you tick the done button, a little unicorn jumps across your page. It's really pretty. I turn that function off. I know Jessica loves that, but I get rid of that one. Communication. Let's talk about communication. Slack. Slack is awesome. Who uses Slack in here? Great, great. Slack is a communication tool. It's like chat. You get to chat with your team. You get to chat in channels as well. So in a studio, a channel you might have is recital. And you can add the teachers that you need to be in that channel. And in that place, you only talk about recital. You might have costuming. You might have finance. You might have private lessons. So you can have all of these separate channels, and you can add different team members to these channels. Plus, you can direct message with each other as well. It's an app on your phone. It's also on your desktop. And this is where the back and forth should happen around bits and pieces. This is not where you delegate tasks. Do not delegate tasks in Slack. We've been there, and it was a disaster. And I had to make a whole process around how we use Slack and how we use Asana. Asana, your project management piece or Trello, is used for assigning tasks, and you can update on where tasks are at within that. Slack is used for quick communication, but not kind of, hey, can you go and do this? That doesn't belong in Slack. That belongs over in your Asana or your Trello. No delegation should happen in Slack. Why do you think that is the case? They don't see it, it gets lost, you wake up in the morning, you're in 100 different channels, you check them all, and then you're like, did I dream that? Like, I can't find it, right? So make sure that everything happens in Asana or Trello, and then your communication is back and forth. Zoom, if you've been on any of my trainings, you know that we use Zoom. Zoom is a video conference platform. It's like Skype was back when it was good. Now we use Zoom. Zoom is a powerhouse. It's a great, great video conferencing platform for you to have video conference with one person, 100 people. Doesn't matter how many people you've got on there. It's video so you can see each other. The connection is really great generally, and it's super easy to use. Voxer, I talked about this earlier. This is a voice memo system. And so you can record voice memos from your team on it. It's like kind of like a walkie-talkie on your phone. Some people prefer using this over Slack. I'm not into it because I don't want to listen to someone talk for a minute when I can just like read it quickly. But it does help. I kind of use Voxer occasionally for messages. If I'm on the go and I want to like speak something out to a team member, I'll record it on Voxer and send them the link in Slack. Voxer gives you a link to your voice memo, and then you can plug it into Slack. You just dump in the link into Slack. Loom is something we use a lot. Loom is, who uses Loom here? Is anyone on Loom? Yeah, Loom is great. Loom is a video screen sharing recording system. So I can get on there. I've done this a couple of times with Inner Circle. I get on there to give feedback on something specific. It has my video as well as my screen that is open, and it records, and then you just send the link to that recording. You can also download that video as well if you need to upload it somewhere. But Loom is super easy. You can record on the screen. You can record your face with the screen, and it records your audio. This system is always also really good for doing your processes and systems. You know how we talked about screen recording your process or systems as you're going through? You can utilize that. Time management. If you want to know what's sucking up all of your time on your computer, this is a really interesting exercise. You can use rescue time. Rescue time will tell you how productive your time has been during the day on your computer and how maybe not so productive your time has been. It will show you a lovely red color when you've been on Facebook for too long. You can also set it that you only spend a certain amount of time on social media platforms during the day, and then it will give you a warning, hey, you've gone over, get off, you're lazy. It doesn't say that, but I think they should introduce it. I think that would be very effective. So rescue time, bonus tip. Rescue time is really good if you want to audit your time. If you finish the end of the day and you've been busy for the last 10 hours and you've got nothing done, let's see where the time actually went. It's really insightful. Just sits in the background of your computer. You don't even realize it's on. Operations and storage. All of us should be over here in the G Suite. All of us should be playing over here. I am not really into Outlook. I'm sorry, some of you are probably being, who's still using Outlook? Anyone? I would get off that. You're like, do I put my hand up or don't I? It's okay. I would move everything across to Google. Google has Mail, Calendar, Drive, Forms, Sheets. Did I say Calendar? I love the calendar. That's why I love the calendar. And so you want to put everything over here. Now, this doesn't mean that you need an @gmail.com email address, right? You don't need that. We use our email addresses, hello@dsoa.com, runs through Google, right? So you want to make sure that everything is over here. I know a lot of you just use this for your music, for your files, for your sheets. Everything is here. I find that Dropbox is useful for big, heavy media files, right? Video files. So the only thing we do in Dropbox are media files, which is all of our photos. We also put all of our video, we have a lot of video content, as you can imagine. We also put a lot of our video content here. We could put it over here. I just find like this is so much easier for that heavy media file stuff to access it from Dropbox. Right, so they're the two that you can use. What I love most about Google is that with their sheets and their docs, you can both be in a meeting, you can both be updating the documents, you see the person as they're updating it. You don't have like version 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of something. You just have one version, and that makes me very, very happy. Zapier. So Zapier is a really cool tool. It links a lot of technology together. So if you're using something like Drip, which is an email thing, we'll talk about in a second, an email system with something like Pipedrive, which is a sales system, you can link these together to speak to each other, right? So Zapier, look into it. It has something called zaps, and you get these zaps that one thing talks to another thing, talks to another thing, and it makes everything connect. Okay, so on its own, this does nothing. But when you connect it to the different things, for example, you could get a new student enrolled, and that happens in Pipedrive. That tells MailChimp to kick them off on an email sequence. You can get that zapped into your Slack to say, bing, we got a new student, right? So then you can have a running channel in Slack of all the new student enrollments that come through. So Zapier connects all of these things together. And if you go on there, it'll kind of tell you all the things it connects with. It's super cool. Email marketing, I've given you 3 because I'm feeling generous. Again, email marketing is a little bit like studio software. What are your 3 non-negotiables? What does it have to do for you? Then you can seek out the right option. For you guys, for studio owners, MailChimp actually has gotten better. 2 years ago, it wasn't great. They've introduced new functions, new features in MailChimp. Drip is really cool. ActiveCampaign, also really good. The core function of these are to do your automated email sequences. You know the 6-week onboarding process that we spoke about? You can do that in these, okay? So pick one of them. Who's already using an email marketing software? Okay, I would say 50% of you. That's awesome. The rest of you, this is something you might want to look into. The email and spam laws just keep getting stricter and stricter and stricter, and it's even going to become more strict. If you look at the EU and the laws that, for those guys that are here that are visiting us, you know that the laws are very strict now around data and privacy and that type of thing. You want to make sure that you're not bulk emailing from like your Gmail address, for example, because it'll blacklist you and you'll get flagged, and you don't want that to happen. So you want to make sure that you're using a reputable system for your emails. Outsource, my favorite word on the planet. And you can outsource tasks. The first one is Magic. So Magic's cool. It's like a little personal assistant. And what they will do, you can text them, you can email them stuff to do for you. This could be, you can't say, hey, go pick up the kids. But you can tell Uber to do that. But with this, you can get them to find you things. Hey, can you book me a reservation for this? Where's a place that I can go and get my dry cleaning? They're 24/7. So they've got a team that the team doesn't work 24/7, but they have a rotating roster of people. I believe they're all now US-based assistants. And so you don't know who you're talking to, you're just talking to Magic, which is kind of weird, but super cool. And it's like a 24/7 personal assistant. So before you get a personal assistant, you might want to try these guys. We haven't used them because we have an internal team to do everything. But my friend Ari uses them, and he's using them about 80 hours a week. And they're running his live events for him. Like, he's really utilizing Magic. I'm not saying get rid of your team and use Magic, especially if your team member is here. Please keep them. But you want to check it out. Fiverr or Fiverr. Who uses Fiverr? A couple of you. So Fiverr is a really cool tool. It's stuff people will do for $5. You can get people to put on like a donkey head and sing a rap song with your name in it. Not very valuable for your studio. You can also get them to do really valuable things like editing videos, putting together graphic design work, writing copy, all the stuff that we've talked about. There's people on Fiverr that will do it. Upwork down here is a better version, I believe, of Fiverr in terms of the quality of work that you're going to get. Logo design, for instance, I would go to something like 99 Designs, but Upwork, there's some amazing graphic designers. My illustrated vision board, I found him on Upwork, right? There's some such great talented people. You can find people to do event management for you on Upwork. You can find a virtual operations director on Upwork. Really awesome people, because like I said, we're in the gig economy. No one wants a full-time job really anymore. Everyone wants to work virtually from wherever they want, doing stuff they love with people they love. And so there are so many talented people on this platform. So you might want to have a look at that. Automation agency, this is super cool. Carl, my friend, runs this. These are the guys that can build all of your marketing funnels for you. Yeah, it's super cool. It's a flat rate. I think he's about maybe $250 a month. And they will do all of your linking your email sequences. Like, they'll do all of that horrible tech stuff. Yeah, super. And I can introduce you guys in the inner circle to Carl. He's got a rate for us. So he's cool. He's an Aussie. He's super cool. But the company is great, and I have a lot of friends that use it. Up Counsel is a place for you to get kind of on-demand legal work done. They're legal students who are like getting up there, so you're not paying like the full rates, something you might want to look at. Paro as well. This place is around the it's kind of like Up Counsel, but more for the finance piece. And these guys Catalan, these are like MBA students who are working on like strategy documents and business plans. So you might want to check them out as well. So this is all about like outsourcing things that you can do through an online directory of really amazing people. Oh, sorry, that's graphic design. I'm not going to tell you. No, I am. That's graphic design. So that's a graphic design marketplace. Unlimited graphic design. I think it starts around, Jessica, are you in here? No. I think it starts around maybe $200 or $300 a month for unlimited graphic design. They work on one task at a time. So they have to finish that task before they go on to your next one. So this is great if you're doing a lot of stuff, a lot of Facebook ads, a lot of content, because your graphic designer, like we pay about $2,500 a month for our graphic designer for all the work that we get done for our workbooks and all of the artwork that we do. So we're on retainer with them. Plus we have a guy that is ad hoc and we spend about $1,000 with him a month as well. So we spend about $3,500 a month on graphic design. So something like this would be really useful for us, but I'm very particular about our branding. So I don't want to go to them. But this could be a great tool for you to utilize if you are wanting to kind of have that on-hand person that can get all your content out there if you're going to lift up your content game. Okay, how do we feel about those tools? Oh, good, I love it. We get a clap. Let's throw this around, and I want you to tell me what is, from this list, what is your favorite tool that you are going to look into right away? Like, what is the tool that has you excited? Good catch.
I am so excited to learn about Intercom.
Intercom. Hands up for Intercom. Wow. Okay, anyone got any other tools they're excited about? Jessica, yeah, can you just yell? Yeah. Is it consistent with your brand? Yeah, it is. So they give you a group of graphic designers that only work on, so they don't only work on your stuff, but you're not getting a different person all the time. Yeah, and you give them your brand Bible. Cool. Yeah, cool. Okay. What are you excited about?
When you send your parents...
No, not questions. Oh. No, it's fine. You can. Go.
For like the video links, when you're like, oh, send them a video like of you, whatever. What do you use to send out your videos?
So you can either house that video on something like Vimeo is where I would put... Vimeo. Yeah, I would put them on Vimeo. Or you can also put them on Wistia. Vimeo, like we use Vimeo. It's a better option. It's a cheaper option. And it does what you need. Yeah, no problem. But what you want to do though, let me just clarify. So what you want to do with that video is you don't just want to send them to a Vimeo page that's like Vimeo with like this little weird video. You want to embed that video on a landing page. Okay. So you in your website, or if you're using lead pages, you want the brand to be consistent. So you don't want them to go into like a YouTube channel and be like, this looks like pretty weird. You want them to go on a branded page where they see the video. Cool, cool. Yeah, last one.
Rescue time.
Sorry? Rescue time. Oh yeah, good luck with that one. Rescue time is fun and heartbreaking at the same time. Okay, I told you we were going to do a 30-day plan. Are you ready to do your 30-day plan? Yes. Awesome. This is pretty easy. I want you to have a look at your notes. And I want you to get clear, and also with the information you had before you came to Domination, because hopefully you already had a bit of a plan. What is the date today, please? The 4th of August. Yes, I knew the month, I just didn't know the date. So it's the 4th of August. So let's look at all of August, because you're going to start tonight. We'll just say it's the beginning of the month. You've got 4 days to catch up on because you've been here with me. Let's say all August is a month. September, October. August, September, October. You have 3 months. How many things can you... Oh, we're doing a 30-day plan. You have 1 month. Sorry. See, 90-day plans are just like burnt into my brain. You have 30 days. And what 3 things are you going to focus on over the 30 days? What are the 3 things that you want to focus on. Because here's the thing, I know you're pumped and excited and you have momentum at the moment. So I want to throw you into this as quickly as possible. Inner Circle members, you are still on your 90-day plans, please. You're like, oh, I can't change it? No, this is not permission to change. This is not permission to change or come up with more stuff. We still have 3 days together, don't forget. 3 goals. So write down your 3 goals. And then with each goal, come up with your 3 action steps. What are your 3 action steps you're going to take to make that goal happen? And then lastly, any resources you might need. And so resources can mean people to help you, or it could mean training to help you get through and achieve that goal. Right, so number 1, pick your project that you're going to work on. Step number 2, write down your 3 big action steps. By the way, that is not your project plan. 3 steps is not a project plan. You'll need to flesh that out a whole lot more, but I just want to start you getting thinking around the action that you want to take, right? 3 steps, 3 steps. And you do that for your first goal, your second goal, your third goal, and then you're going to put some resources. That might be blank, because it might be you or it might be a team member. If you're getting a team member's help on this, put their names. If you're part of DSOA or Inner Circle or the intensive, like what training do you need to make sure that you achieve that goal? Write that down there. And that becomes the foundation of your next 30 days. Your next 30 days. This should become about, depending on where you're at, 60 to 70% of your time should be focused on these. The rest of your time is just the running of the business. Just the running of the business. Have you written them down? Or you're still going? So I want to share a couple of these, but I just want you to tell me the goals, not the whole thing. So I just thought it'd be helpful for us to hear some goals that people have. And so who's ready to share? Yes, Jessica. Such a long throw. Stand up, please, as well, when you deliver this.
I want to take and learn how to use and implement Trello to keep
Great.
my staff up to date, organize all our tasks, and start being able to delegate more.
I love it.
Take a bunch off my plate.
Awesome. What else?
Get my finances under control and understand them in the next 30 days.
So does anyone else have finances on their list? Okay, please be very specific around what it is. So this is great that you've brought it up. What specifically do you want to understand or achieve?
I need a working budget.
Great, perfect. Working budget. I love it. What's your third one?
Third one would be to develop our onboarding process when students come on.
Great. That's a lot, but I have faith in you. Okay, who else has got their 3 they'd love to share with us? Oh, really? Okay. Just because it's such a long way, and I don't trust myself to throw that far. I know it is the catch box, but there we go.
Okay. I actually want to implement the 11-step process, even though I've known about it for 2 years. And to train the teacher I brought today, my staff member, to become the enrollment administration person. Mm-hmm. And then also, it's perfect time to do the 6-week onboarding to get that going.
Yes.
The system.
Whew. That's a lot of stuff. Who else? Who else? Who else? Who else? Let me come over here because you guys are like roaring, screaming to want to share. Who's going to share their 3 goals? Guys, this is like accountability. Guys who are sharing, can you make sure that you message me and keep me updated with how you're going? It's only an invite for people that are sharing.
Hi.
It's like called bribery.
It works. Okay, I'm going to work on my evergreen enrollment.
Awesome. So implement the enrollment process, or you're going to work on, tell me specifically.
So I'm getting to that. So I'm working on the Facebook campaign, so we'll be going all the time. The next one is implementing the 11-step enrollment process and the 6-week onboarding. and then I want to.
That's enough. And stop. Okay. Who else? I saw another hand up here. Share. Thank you. Please share.
All right. So I would like to. I'm sorry. Wow.
Go, Brittany. I love it.
The 6-week onboarding process, especially because we are getting good leads from the ads she's been doing. We are going to master Facebook ads eventually, and we're going to get there, and we're going to work on it, and we're going to get people from it. And then also our core values, discussing it as a team, print it out in hard copy, and then introduce it to our dance family.
Awesome. So that's it. Sorry. And so what I want you to do now is I want you to prioritize your 3 goals, your 3 projects. What's the top one? And you might have done them in order like that already, but you may not. Get clear on the top one. That's where I want you to be spending your time. Second is your secondary. Third is your thirdery. Is there a word for that? Tertiary. What is it? Tertiary. Oh, that is a bad word. I'm sticking with mine, your thirdery, right? Okay, make sure you have priorities because you can't divide your time equally between 3 projects because they take different amounts of time. It's like the kids. One kid takes you away, then you've got to go back to the other kid. I don't want you to be like that. I want you to be really clear on one goal, and that's the main focus. Then you've got your secondary goal and your thirdery goal. It's going to be something. I can feel it. I can feel it. How do we feel about this? Now, you may think, but Clint, I have so many other ideas in my notebook. Is anyone feeling that way at the moment? That is great. I want you to revisit that when you either do your next 90-day plan or your next 30-day plan. Okay? Revisit your notes, but you do not need to take on any more. I can tell you, if you try and go back and implement anything else, you will get overwhelmed and you won't do anything. Okay? I love good ideas. I go to conferences all the time. I write my notes, and I told you about this. To-dos, good ideas, resources. That's how I lay out my notebook. I write it all down. I then go back to my computer. I plug it into my education spreadsheet. I type it all out, and then I put it away. And then I revisit it when I go back and do my next 90-day plan. Because I know where I'm headed. I know my 90-day goals. That was all awesome and fun, but I need to leave it because I already know where I'm going. And then when I do my next 90-day plan, I'm going to revisit it to take out the gold, put it in the next 90 days. I'm still going back from things in like 2017 that I'm looking at and I'm like, that was an awesome idea that will now apply to what I'm working on. That's how you should utilize your learning process, right? Just because you learned it 3 years ago doesn't mean it's not good anymore. So in this document, I have tabs for every year. I only started this in 2017. So I have 17, 18, 19, because I had too many books and I couldn't remember where any of my notes were in my books. And now I use Post-its and I also have the spreadsheet, which is really useful. And so I want you to go back. I want you to stick to this plan. Go back, please type up your notes. It's like another part of the process. You get to reprocess the information. I often find when I go through my notes, I'm like, firstly, I have no idea what I wrote. That's like one of the things. The second thing is I read it and I see it in a new way. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that was really good. And it makes me think of something else. Oh, and I could apply that to this. So you get another round. So as you're typing them up, spend a couple of hours. As you're typing them up, you're also reprocessing the information. Then every 90 days, when you go through these 90-day plans, go back through the notes, see what can support you in your next 90 days. How does that sound? Good, good. Like I said to you when I built Domination, I wanted to give you like a curriculum, walk you through the foundation around growth, freedom, and empire, and give you bits from every piece so that you're well equipped to like get out of here and start doing the work. Rather than an event, someone said to me at lunch, they're like, I've never been to an event like this where you actually get the information. Like you actually get the stuff that we need to do. Like you're telling us what to do. rather than like going and hearing from a whole bunch of different people who have all different ideas, which are all really great, by the way, all really great ideas. But like my process of doing something is different to someone else's process. So you're hearing one piece of advice somewhere, and then the other person's like, no, don't do Facebook ads. And you're like, I was just told that I should do Facebook ads. Then the other person's do half Facebook ads and then do flyers. And then the next person says, yeah, newspaper advertising, that's the way to go. Then I say, no, don't do newspaper advertising. And so you walk out of a big conference with lots of speakers and you're like, what do I do? I have no idea what to do. As the guy said on stage, trust the system. Please trust what I've given you. None of it's made up. It's all proven. It all works if you do the work. And that's what I wanted to leave you with these 3 days, is a blueprint that you can follow. And guys, what has been delivered over these last 3 days from myself, but our amazing speakers, our amazing Inner Circle members, are things that can really last you for years and years and years to come. You just need to make sure you hold yourself accountable and you do the work. Last chance to join us in Student Attraction Intensive. Make sure you fill them out and hand them to the girls and the team out the front as you leave, please. Again, just quickly, video trainings. The main thing is the coaching, right? Everyone's business is different. You need the coaching to be able to move through this growth pillar of attraction, enrollment, and retention. We want to be able to help you with that, Tracy and I. Tracy's amazing around the Facebook ads, and she's worked with our Inner Circle members now for about a year and a bit. So she knows our industry really, really well. Because that's the thing, with Facebook ads, you might know how to teach them, but does the teacher know the industry, right? Because that is also really, really important. You know the investment. If you're interested, just let us know, right? Fill out the form.